Hello, everyone. This is Robert Mansour. I'm an attorney in the Los Angeles area, and we're going to spend a few minutes talking about 5 easy things you can do to protect your family today. This doesn't even require going to a lawyer. You can do these things on your own, and we'll walk through 5 things that you can do to protect yourself and your family. If you want to learn more about my office, you can go to my website, which is right there on the screen, www.mansourlaw.com. My office is 661 414 7100. Let's begin. If you have any assets that are in your name alone, you want to make sure you get yourself a will. People say, well, what is a will? What is the legal significance of a will? A will is just basically a letter to the judge telling the judge where you want your assets to go after you pass away. So that's all it really is, and also a will only goes into effect after you pass away. It's really of no legal significance and no legal use while you're still alive. You can name guardians for minor children as part of your will. If you want to get a free California will, and you don't want to go to a lawyer, and you don't want to get a more robust estate plan that might include a living trust, etc., you can go to www.calbar.org. On the left-hand side, search for the public forms, and you will find a free California will available for you with instructions on how to fill it out, and you can have it witnessed by 2 witnesses, which is the requirement here currently in California. And keep in mind, though, a will is not a panacea. A will is not going to solve all your problems. And in fact, a will is, to some extent, a limited document. But if you don't have one, and you can get one for free, why not? Check it out at the California Bar Association. Let's go to step 2. Step 2. Check the beneficiaries on your life insurance policies and tax-deferred accounts. So remember I talked about a will. A will controls assets that are in your name alone. However, there's a lot of things that you might have, like life insurance policies and tax-deferred accounts like IRAs and 401ks and 403bs. Those things pass by way of a designated beneficiary. When you got those things, you've probably filled out a form called a beneficiary form. So it doesn't matter what your will says. Basically, what matters is what that form says. So a lot of married couples, for example, will find that they have their spouse listed, but when they review these beneficiary designations, they find that they often forget to put somebody beyond the spouse. They don't put their children, they don't put their sisters or brothers or whoever they want the asset to go to. So in the event of a common accident, the husband and the wife pass away, and now we're stuck because there are no other beneficiaries listed on the form. So not only do you want to check who your primary beneficiary is, but you also want to check who your secondary beneficiaries are. Now, if you have minor children, and in California, that's people who are under the age of 18 are considered minors, you want to be very careful, and you may not want to name them as the secondary or contingent beneficiaries. You may want to name a living trust as the beneficiary in the case of minor children. But if you want to learn more about that, you can visit my website or give me a call. I'll be happy to explain that further. Also, if you have beneficiaries that you might have a concern about how they would handle the money, you may not want to name them directly. But at the very least, check who you have and make sure that it's correct, and make sure that you name individuals and don't put something like my estate shall be the beneficiary. That's inviting trouble right there. Next is step 3 here. We're going to get an advance healthcare directive. Get an advance healthcare directive. Now, why is that important? An advance healthcare directive allows somebody to make healthcare decisions for you if you cannot. Not only that, they can be your advocate. They can advocate for you in the hospital setting, or people, let's say, for example, the hospital staff is not paying attention to you, or the nurses are not helping you, or they're giving you the wrong medication, or whatever the case may be, or you need to be relocated from one facility to another. Your agent under the healthcare directive can advocate for you and make those kinds of decisions. Also, the healthcare agent can decide whether or not life support should be extended, whether or not a certain surgery that is being recommended should be done or not. People often think that their spouse is automatically entitled to do this. That is an incorrect assumption. One must be given the legal authority to act via an advance healthcare directive. Some states in the U.S. still call this thing a living will, but in California we call it an advance healthcare directive. You can get an entry-level form from the California Attorney General's office. Just look them up on the internet, look up the California Attorney General, type in the search box advance healthcare directive, and you'll find a free form that is entry-level, but it's better than having nothing. So go ahead and get that in place and empower whomever you want. Make sure you list a primary agent and also one or two secondary agents. Next is step 4. Examine how you hold title to your assets. Take a look at everything that you own and ask yourself, how do I own that asset? Do you own it as a single individual? Do you own it jointly? Do you own it as joint tenancy, tenants in common? Do you own it in a living trust? Do you own it in your name alone? All of these things have legal ramifications. This is not just something to toy with. You really have to examine this and ask yourself, is that really the way I want to hold title to my asset? So if you want to discuss that further, you might find some good resources on my website, or give me a call and I will explain to you the ramifications. One ramification that we could talk about is joint ownership. Joint ownership is when you own property jointly with other people. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with holding property jointly with other people. But what happens is, if one person passes away, the other person is now the owner of that property. And if they add another person and then they pass away, then that third person now owns the property. Basically, this is one of the easiest ways for people to lose their assets in this country. Joint ownership is one of the leading causes of disinheritance. People losing their wealth to other people because they put others on title with them, and the property and the asset mysteriously ends up in the wrong hands. So make sure you take a very close look at how you hold title to your assets. Step number 5, review your insurance policies. Now, I don't sell insurance, and I'm just telling you this because I have seen time and time again people getting burned because they did not have adequate insurance. Sometimes clients come to me and they say, well, we don't have a lot of money and we're not sure if we should do an estate plan. We got these little kids, etc. I say, look, go get yourself a big life insurance policy. If you pass away, a lot of money can be passed on to your children to help them with college, to help them with paying the mortgage, to help the kids with, daycare, you name it. They're going to need that money. And so you want to make sure you have adequate life insurance. So talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about and get yourself some really good life insurance, especially if your estate is going to need a lot of cash in order to deal with a catastrophic situation. Also, you want to take a look at your auto insurance policies. Do you have enough insurance? A lot of people don't have enough insurance on their car insurance policies, and they end up getting in horrific car accidents, and there's not enough money there for the family. They generally depend on the responsible party, the person who caused the accident, but guess what? 25% of the time that person is either not going to have enough insurance or not have any insurance at all. So you want to make sure that you have the adequate car insurance, not only for liability, but also for something called uninsured motorist and underinsured motorist. Make sure you check your life insurance policies and your auto insurance policies and your homeowner's insurance, because so many people have basically gone from great wealth to nothing because of a catastrophe, and they didn't have the adequate insurance policies. And that's been 5 easy things you can do to protect your family. My name again is Robert Mansour. Thank you for watching this short video. I hope you found it helpful, and if you did, please pass it along to others. Again, these are 5 things that you can do on your own with a few phone calls. Talk to a couple of professionals in your life, your insurance broker. If you have an attorney, you want to talk to them and to get more information, that's fine. Or you can call my office and get more information as well. Thank you very much for watching.